Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Chapter 4, History, the Mughal Emperor. Today, we talk about Mughal traditions of succession. The Mughal did not believe in the rule of primogeniture. Primogeniture means that where the eldest son inherited his father's estate. After the father, the eldest son became the ruler. Primogeniture. Instead, they follow the primogeniture, the Mughal and Brahmin custom of co-partisanry inheritance. What it means? A Hindu, a joint family consists of line descendants of a common ancestor. So the property distribute or division of property among all the son equally. This is the meaning of co-partisanry. Okay, so the Mughals follow co-partisanry, means the division of inheritance among all the sons. Clear? Understood? Now next is the Mughal relations with other rulers. Mughals maintain their moderate relations with others. If we talk about Akbar, so Akbar was quite impressed with the bravery. He realized that the support of Rajput was necessary to consolidate his empire. His relation with the most of the Rajputs king were friendly and cordial, means moderate. He respected them and treated them as an equal. And he also respected all religion equally. Which shows that he gave respect to all religion. After the winning their loyalty, he strengthened his relationship with the Rajput through matrimonial alliances. Akbar married the daughter of Raja Bharamal, the ruler of Amber. Okay. So the Mughal ruler campaigned constantly against the ruler who refused to accept their authority. Yes, it is right. But after that Akbar not insulted the Rajput ruler after the war. Okay. The Mughal became powerful. Many other rulers also joined them voluntarily. Those who were not accepted the Mughal authority, they were not treat them as a friend. The Mughals were not treat them as a friend. Those who were accepted the Mughal authority, like the example of Raja Bhara, the ruler of Mewar. Okay. Amber, sorry. So Akbar married his daughter. And it is not a single example. The Rajput are a good example of this. Many of them married their daughter into Mughals family and received high position. Like Bharamal was made a noble of high rank, and his son Bhagwant Das and grandson Mansan also attained a high rank in the Mughal administration. Come to the next. The Sisodia Rajput of Mewar refused to accept the Mughal authority for a long time, but at last he accepted. Once defeated, however, they were honorably treated by the Mughal, given their Watan Jagir, their lands back. So this kind of the relation Mughals maintain. The few Mughal emperor maintained with Rajput. He defeated the Sisodia Rajput of Mewar, but after the defeated, the Mughal ruler treated him as honorably treated them and given them their land. Okay, so it shows that they carefully balance the between the defeating but not humiliating their opponent. Fine. So now the come to the very important term of this chapter, Mansabdars and Jagirdars. Okay. Mansabdari system was a new form of administration or the new form of administrative organization introduced by Akbar. The term Mansab, everyone write down, the term Mansab means office or rank. Write down the left side of your page. Mansab means office or rank. Mansabdar was the holder of a rank in an administration. Like today we have collector, okay, district officer, manager. Same way that time the Mansab, the mean the office and rank. Each official, military or civilian, was assigned as a Mansab according to his merits and status. The lowest rank under this system was 10 and the highest was 5,000. Mansab between 5,000 to 10,000 were received for prince. The emperor personally appointed the Mansabdar. Who appointed the Mansabdar? Emperor. He could also follow the recommendation of other noble and official in doing so. Now the Mansabdar की किसको कितना मनसब दिया गया है, that is depend on two elements, Jat and Sawar. Listen me very carefully, everyone. The Mansab rank had two elements, Jat and Sawar. What is the meaning of Jat? Refer to the official own status and income. Uska kitni income hai us Mansabdar ki. That is Jat. And Sawar indicated the number of cleverly Savars that officially needed to maintain. Soldier means. For example, 500 Savar mean that official was responsible for 500 cavalrymen and every cavalryman was accepted to maintain 2 horse. The Mansabdar received their salaries in form of Jagirs, which was somewhat similar to the Ikta. I hope it is understood by all. Mansabdar's military responsibility require him to maintain a specific number of Savar and cavalry, and all these things they got registered. Okay. Now Mansabdar received their salary as a revenue assignment called Jagirs, like Ikta system. Okay. So the Mansabdar collected the revenue from their Jagir area. Jagirdar collected the tax from that area. In Akbar reigns, these Jagir were carefully assessed so that their revenue were roughly equal to the salary to the Mansabdar. Aurangzeb reign, this was no longer the case of actual revenue collected were often less than the guaranteed sum. Yes, in Akbar time, whatever the revenue collected from the particular area, it was fixed. On the basis of that, the Akbar distributed the salary to Mansabdar. Now, in Aurangzeb time, no longer case, and actual revenue collected was often less than the guaranteed sum. There was also a huge increase in number of Mansabdar, which means a long wait before receive a Jagir. These and other factors created shortage in the number of Jagirs. In result, what happened? Jagirdars tried to extract as some revenue possible, which they had Jagir, and Aurangzeb, unable to control this development in the last year of his reign, and the peasantry therefore suffered tremendously. So in this way, the Jagirdar create their independent Jagirs and stand against the Aurangzeb, and the Aurangzeb was unable to keep control on Jagirdars. Jagirdars collected their wishful amount from the peasants. In this way, the peasants were suffered in Aurangzeb time. Aurangzeb was unable to check their Jagirdars.